What's up, you people out there? How's it going? This is Press Play again. I don't know why I'm doing a voice, but it's your girl Bailey. And joining me as usual is Matt Austin and Omar Zaki.
At
Hello,
what point?
friends.
At what point did "It's Your Girl Bailey" become the intro? Because I've
I-
slowly started to notice it the last like 2-3 episodes, and then now it just seems like it's locked in as
I honestly
part of the
don't
whole
know.
thing.
It's one of those things where, like, I think I used to say that all the time in high school. Just
Oh my God,
very
to who?
typical. Who
Why?
knows? If anybody out there is listening to this that went to high school with me, they would very much know what I'm talking about. But
Please
I was
write
just
in.
like, Bailey,
That's like how you greet your
hey."
friends. It's your girl Bailey. What's up?
Yeah, it's
Jeez.
like the teacher would call me up in class and like
Oh
how
my
you have to
God.
introduce yourself, and that's like, I'm kidding. I don't think I did
Say
that. I
present when
might
you're
have
here.
done
It's
that.
your girl Bailey.
I want to get to the bottom of this. So if it's true, if you went to high school with
The
Bailey,
funny-
please comment and let us know.
The
'Cause I
funny
want
thing
to
is,
find
I
out.
was on broadcasting and I had to do like the morning announcements, like videos in the morning.
Oh God, you're one of
And
those
there
people.
is like, there was like an 80% chance that I said that on there. So,
Oh,
I don't know why I said it like the people that did the news sucked or something. They didn't. Very nice people. I can't even remember who did it at our school, but it was like I just remember always being so ass tired in the morning that like
dude,
and that was
having
the thing.
having other students that were like our peers be
Hyped
like
and
on a
just fucking
fucking
ready to
news
start the
show.
day.
Yeah, and I'm just
And you
like
see,
I'm
that
half
was
asleep
me.
and you guys are just making me feel shitty about like why am I not doing it? Why can I not be like that?
That was the thing. I'm a morning person. I'll always be a morning person. So in the morning when we would do that, it'd be great. We'd do the announcements for like 5 minutes and then we got to just do nothing. And like we played like dress up and stuff and like filmed videos in cars for our like commercials we would do. It was great.
Oh my
It was
God.
great. But
It was
like
a whole thing.
it was very much just like, oh, what can I do that doesn't require testing? So, but anyway, hey, it's all of us. Again, this is Press Play again. I don't know if I even said it in the beginning, but we're here and we're ready to rumble. Because this is our WandaVision Aftermath episode where we're going to talk about everything that happened at the end of the season, the finale, what's coming, what we think is coming, what's happening with this next show, this business with a Falcon and
Who
a
is
Winter
this?
Soldier.
Yeah, who is this Winter Soldier guy?
Is he
fucking
gonna
keep
be
hearing
wearing
about?
a parka? Who knows?
It's the second movie that his name's in the title of. It's like it's getting weird with this guy. Is he
hey,
important or
people
is
like
he
him.
not?
He's
Do people
important.
like him? Do people like Bucky Barnes?
Wait, isn't
Omar, do you like
I
Bucky?
love
isn't
Bucky.
well, I was gonna say, isn't he the guy from the second Captain America movie?
Supposedly.
Yes.
Right? It's the same guy, right? That's the same
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
I
No,
guess.
that's like
I don't
straight
fucking
up.
know.
Wait, so he's the new Captain America?
I think so. I think.
I swear to God.
You know what? I've
you-
seen
Omar does this
Endgames
shit.
4 times.
I promise to everyone out there listening to us, we like actually like these movies and we like these characters. So don't
Does it?
listen
Yes,
to Omar's bullshit.
I do like him. I know who he is. He's awesome. No, I'm excited. Have you guys seen any of the clips, by the way?
the,
the
clips, like,
trailers?
the trailer?
No. Yeah, I mean, not really trailers. They released like 1 minute clips, like maybe 2
Oh.
or 3.
Oh,
from,
the clip.
From, like,
Oh yeah, where
episodes.
Falcon like tells you that like he got snapped and you should now go order Uber Eats.
No. Like it's an actual clip from the like from an actual episode. I actually didn't see that. I don't know if it's like commercial. Or what.
Actually, I'm
But no,
saying
it was,
Uber
like, the
Eats,
clip,
but I think it
from
was
the
a
pilot.
Game Pass ad for Xbox. But
Oh
yeah.
my God.
No, to answer your question seriously, Omar, I haven't seen any of the clips. I've watched, I think, all the trailers, except there might have been a new one today that, in hindsight, probably should have watched.
I have not seen any of them, and I'm not upset about it because I have time to watch them. But at the same time, I like just lately I've been doing
Jump
this thing
into
where
things.
I'm not watching anything until I get to the show, and I'm starting to
I feel
like
it.
this new Bailey. I'm starting to like this new. What am I gonna get? What show is this even about? You know, so
This is how it
that's kind of
starts.
what-
This is how it starts, and then it slowly morphs into like her showing up for the podcast, just like, what movie was I supposed to watch? I'll make it work. I can tell you what I would have thought of it.
No, I've been like really I watched they had I think the final trailer for the show came out today and I watched that one and it's so you know what? We need to get to this after I tell everybody like where they can listen to us.
They don't
so,
want this.
if you didn't know, you can follow us on social media anywhere but Facebook. Instagram, it's at Press Play again. Very simple. We're posting funny pictures. Go like them. go tell us stuff. We love that. Twitter, it's at Again Press because Press Play Again was taken. So at Again
Live
Press
with
on
it.
Twitter, at
Mhm.
Press Play Again on Instagram. You can listen to us if you don't want to watch us do this on everything, but not everything. Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Apple Podcasts. And also to remind everyone out there, go and listen to our little hype episode for Snyder Cut. We have a cool guest on it. We talk about a lot of stuff, and we're giving away comics from that episode. So all you got to do is subscribe to us on YouTube or Apple Podcasts and leave us a comment. You got to leave a comment. And whoever does, whatever it says, it could say literally anything. We'll send you some free comics, and it's going to be awesome. But go listen to that episode because we got Snyder Cut coming out next
And-
week, this
and
week.
And special thanks to Patrick for those comics, and thanks for being on
shout
our
out
episode.
to Pat.
You're our first ever esteemed guest, and let me tell you, things have taken off since then. We're getting calls for deals, movie rights. I think Bailey's. You're working on that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm signing the dotted line for
Yeah.
all of it. I don't even read it. I'm like, whatever it is, I'm signing it. But yeah, so go and take a gander at that because we got coming up on Friday morning at 10 a.m. our Snyder Cut discussion, the episode of all episodes, to talk about this man's achievement. And I personally cannot wait for this. And I know they can't either. We're all watching it together. Omar took off work. It's a big deal. So if
Oh, probably
Omar's
shouldn't say that.
employers
on air
are
in case
listening
my
to this?
supervisors-
No, Omar is
I mean,
sick.
Matt is taking off work.
Yes.
I'm taking off work. 'cause I'm my
I
own
mix
boss.
their names up. They're very similar. So yeah,
Just
we're
kidding,
doing
I
that,
have no
and
money.
then we're actually doing a little change up on Tuesdays. We're going to be having our discussion, talking about what's coming up on all these Marvel TV shows, all the TV shows that are coming on Disney Plus. We're going to be having them come out on Tuesday, and we're going to have a great time talking about them. So come and join us for that. I think I got everything out the way. Did I miss anything, guys?
Can I ask Omar a quick question about like
Absolutely.
man hygiene?
Yes.
Sweet.
So I bought some new deodorant, Omar. It's called Harry's. Those nice bright
Dude,
blue.
I love their fucking razors, man. But yeah.
Yeah, I wish I would have just got razors. So I like
Ooh.
started using it and it smelled really nice, but my arms started itching, like my armpits, and I never really pieced it together. And
Itching
then,
or burning?
it evolved into both.
Well, it's
now,
a rash
Yeah.
now, so.
yeah, now it's a full
probably
blown
just
rash.
yeah.
So
I mean, you're probably just allergic to it, man. I would avoid it. I usually just honestly use spray for
oh, okay.
you know, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm
I
a
just
big
use
spray deodorant person,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
you recommend-
just a bit more comfortable.
Do you recommend like a good spray?
I just use Old Spice, man. You know, I
Old
just
Spice.
stick to basics.
Old Spice,
Yes, sir.
really good. We're promoting it right now in case.
Yeah,
They
and
want
apparently
to
not
sponsor.
Harry's because you'll get rash on your armpits. I'm
Yeah,
just
but-
kidding. I'm not sure if that'll happen.
But Harry's, if you hear this and you want to change our minds, we will also accept you being a sponsor, and we will shamelessly just tell people it works.
So yeah, anyway, we're gonna segue now on over to what we need to talk about, which is this finale of WandaVision and what the hell we're getting after it. Because I started looking into more things and I found some weird things, and I'm not sure if y'all want me to give away stuff. I don't think some of the stuff I found out is gonna be in a movie because I think it'd be weird, but
Everything's fair game here, guys. Like if
it's
we're talking about everything that happened, we're talking about things that might happen. If we're right, you can't say we
yeah,
spoiled
this
it
is
for you
full spoilers.
because so far, you listen to the episodes, we've been wrong about every single thing. So if we finally hit something, you know what? Congratulate us. Don't
You know what?
ridicule.
And that's going to bring up my first thing. When are we getting Toby McGuire? What show is he going to be a cameo in? Because it's got to happen. I don't think me and Omar could come up with this prediction and it not have any ground to stand on.
we
am I wrong?
We kick it to you, Omar.
I'm just I'm still not over the fact that we didn't get Toby. I really thought he was gonna be in a credit scene at the end. But
The man
Spider-Man's coming out.
The
so-
man reactivated his Twitter account. I mean,
Yeah,
were we
what?
that
Like,
far
what's that
off?
supposed to mean? There's no way he just did that so you could retweet like random bullshit, right? There's no way he just did that to just like be there. It's like too much of a coincidence. He does it around the finale of this show, and I don't know. Maybe he's in the next Marvel show. Maybe he's in Doctor Strange.
That's all I'd hope
Dude,
for.
can you imagine if he's a cameo, but he's not like Spider-Man? Like he's not Peter Parker. It's just Toby Maguire in the Doctor Strange movie. Like he's just in it.
I would adore that.
I give
Fuck
it
that.
3-4 weeks before our like anticipation for just Toby McGuire cameo in anything just becomes
Yeah.
like what this
Dude!
podcast is known for, where
What
people
if
will.
he's in a fucking Snyder cut?
There's
Just
no
throw him in there.
way.
Just
You heard,
fucking.
you heard it here first. That's our.
Yes, sir. Dude,
we'll
imagine. Oh.
Tack that on to our predictions from last episode that we didn't get to. We're betting it now. You're gonna see It's 4 hours, dude. Toby McGuire. Like there is a
In 2 minutes.
4 hours and 2 minutes. There's a high chance that
He could
Toby
be in the last
McGuire
2
shows
minutes.
up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
I completely agree. But I will say, on a more serious note, I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room, and I think that's when is Mafisto going to show up? Because everybody was anticipating him being in this show at some point. Now he's not, which I, at the end of the day, think is a good thing because I kind of like that they made Agatha like the main big bad in this, even though also Wanda was kind of the big bad, but.
So I wanted to say 2 things. I think Mephisto was a bit too big. As much as I love the show, I think he's a bit too big to have on
He
the show.
is. I agree.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Honestly, I think Agatha from now on, I definitely think she has a future in the MCU. I think she's gonna be more like the next Loki, where sometimes
Yeah, like
she's
the
good, sometimes she's
anti-hero.
bad.
Yeah.
Right. Like she's not really gonna be a big bad villain. And
I
I think that
agree.
like I really like the way they introduced her. You know, I love how they did that. And but yeah, I do think we're gonna see a lot more to her, and she's definitely got the charm to like be the next Loki. Um,
Yeah.
that's my guess.
Dude, you were hitting the nail on the head, man. I completely agree with all that. I
Awesome.
was thinking, so I was reading some stuff about it because I'm a nerd and I have to go read about everything after I watch shows that have a bunch of things that could happen. I know, who reads? But they were talking about how since Doctor Strange is the Sorcerer Supreme, he can like feel when there's like changes in the force of magic or however you
Okay.
want to say it. And so clearly this fight with Agatha and Wanda and like Wanda literally becoming Scarlet Witch is going to be felt. So it's like Mephisto on the other end of that, I think also can do that kind of thing. So they both feel what's happening and then that's how we get the big bad for Doctor Strange.
Ooh.
The dose.
Okay.
So I think Mephisto is going to be the main villain.
In Doctor Strange.
I do. Now I do. Because of all of this.
Yeah,
I can see
because
it. I can see it happening.
I mean, yeah, it makes more sense than us saying that he was gonna pop into this because this being just
I didn't realize how powerful he was.
I know. Once I started reading about him, I was like, okay, you okay, people? You're getting us
I was
all
being
real
very
excited for
ignorant.
some.
I know.
But no, I could see that happening, and I honestly think that would make the most sense. Kind of with what they've set up, and just that we know this is tying into it in some kind of way. I think that makes a lot of sense. I can't remember the poor guy's name, but whoever is the creator of the chaos magic, I think I was reading about him earlier. His name starts with a C. Somebody help me out.
Craig.
Celesto, Craig, could be either of those two.
Gotcha. I
but
don't remember his name, but you can comment and tell us because we'll never know anything if y'all don't.
there is a popular fan theory that this guy, Craig, let's just call him Craig. We know he's got a different
Okay.
name, but we're just going to stick with Craig. That he would have felt kind of like what you're saying, the awakening of like the chaos magic and her becoming the Scarlet
Yeah.
Witch. And that would kind of be like his beacon to come and invade Earth. Kind of like
find
Darkseid.
her. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not to piss
Yeah.
off any Marvel fans out there that hate DC, but
Oh god, we just lagged a bunch, but Bailey said Marvel fans that hate DC. I don't know if that got cut out or not, but everything should be
solid.
everything should be fine now. But-
I completely agree with that though. I think that that's what's going to end up happening. I also think that whenever Wanda was like, or whenever Agatha was like, "You're going to need me, Wanda. You understand that, girly? You're going to need me."
You hear me, girly?
And that's
Someone-
when Agatha comes back in too.
Someone
to help.
explained this to me because
Agatha has
for some
to.
reason I was at work today thinking about this all day, and I could have probably just looked it up, and I chose not to.
So
Also, I figured. By the way, I figured my work has like amazing Wi-Fi that I've never used in the 4 years I was there, and I logged into
Nice.
it today, and oh my god,
It's
life
good.
changing. But oh, dude, it's insane. It was
Wow.
really.
you
fucking
have
good.
not logged into your work's Wi-Fi
Nope.
for 4
I just figured
years.
it'd be shit. I figured it'd be shit, and I just had to today to watch soccer game, and it worked effortlessly. So I could have probably looked up what I'm about to ask you guys, but I chose not to. Anyways,
That's okay.
technically, pre-COVID, let's say a year or two ago, when all the movies were announced, was
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 supposed to be coming out after Doctor Strange?
Yes.
Okay, so explain to me what happens now. Does like the script for Spider-Man 3 change in any way? Because it has to had follow what happens in that, right? So I'm just
Mm,
confused as how does like
if it's
Spider-Man 3 comes out prior,
I think all of this got changed, honestly, because it's a great
right?
question,
It had
Omar.
to.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah, typical MCU, like we are seeing so little of what actually goes on about, you know what I mean? Kevin
Right.
Feige's a master class of words.
Yeah.
He's only gonna say the words he wants us to pick apart. If he doesn't want us to pick
Right.
us apart, pick it apart, he's not gonna say it.
Mhm.
So similarly to that, yeah, I think that there's stuff that I think these movies are getting shifted around in a million different ways. I wouldn't be surprised if there are parts of Black Widow that have changed, even though
well,
that
yeah,
movie's been
that's
done
like
for a year. Like, you know what I'm saying? We talked about that a little bit on some of the Wanda episodes, but we going into WandaVision, we were supposed to have already seen Black Widow, and we
right.
just didn't. We didn't, and we're
Well, I
finally gonna
think
see
Black
it.
Widow
In,
takes way before like
it
even Civil
does.
It
War, right?
does. It's I think after Civil War, I want to
Oh,
say.
it is after Civil War. I thought it was prior to
Oh,
Civil
it
War.
might be. It's around the
I don't
Civil
know.
War
I
Either way,
think.
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. It's
I
around
think
there.
it's
Yeah.
after Civil War. I think she
Okay.
leaves. Doesn't she leave in Civil War? When kind of after their big fight at the airport, doesn't she go one way? Tony goes another way, maybe. I can't remember. I think then she goes to Russia. I think that's what happens. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
a fair point, though, that probably that movie would have the least to do with kind of veering into the multiverse. So I agree with that. But I still think these movies are always so connected and always fed
Right.
in a certain order. You know what I mean? So the fact that we're getting them kind of shifted up like this,
Mhm.
it just leads me to believe that
Well,
there has to be things changing. And to your point, yeah, even more for Spider-Man and Multiverse of Madness, because you got movies coming out in the flip order now with those two.
well,
I don't really
it's
get it.
Right.
I don't get how they're gonna
it's
do it.
funny that you brought up Black Widow because I actually was like reading a lot on Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I saw something that I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work because again, we were supposed to already see Black Widow before we were supposed to see the show. But apparently, like the villain that should be in the show for them was trained by Taskmaster. But we meet
Oh,
Taskmaster in Black Widow.
There you go.
right.
That's
So
already
like
fucking.
when you
That's
see
already
stuff
shot.
like that, you're supposed to I guess like if you love the comics and stuff and you know who Taskmaster is, it's okay, but for other people who just watch the movies and the TV shows, then that whole thing it's not going to be that big of a deal, but it's going to be one of those things where if that's true, then you're kind of just be like, "Oh, okay." Like he was
This
trained
man.
by
Yeah.
someone. So
Right.
it's
Um,
interesting that this has had to happen because of COVID, but
it
Right.
is.
Right.
Which villain is that, Bailey? Do you know anything else about him? Because I was reading, people think there are 3 villains in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
it's
One of them is like a
Waller, I want to say.
yes,
The
like
last name is?
John
Yeah.
Waller, Stephen Waller,
I
something
can't remember
like
his
that.
first name, but Waller's the one I'm talking about that apparently was trained by Taskmaster. I
So,
could be wrong. I was
isn't
just
he
reading an
like a
article, but-
like a fake Captain America, or like a Captain
Yes.
America that
Well,
the government, is it the government wants him to be the
Yeah.
successor to Steve
he's
Rogers?
pretty much he's pissed that Falcon gets the shield.
Mm.
Yes, okay, that
It's
makes so much
like,
sense.
He stole my toy, so I gotta go get it back.
Soldier
And that's what's
Waller.
gonna happen.
That
Yeah.
That's what the show's about.
Because yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Given kind of the stuff I was reading earlier, that was going to be one of the main conflicts of interest is this character that would have
that
the
you weren't
government.
introduced to yet.
Yeah, well, that for sure. But what I was talking more about this like villain, how kind of cool it
Oh.
sounds, because he is like this guy that's supposed to be taking up the mantle of Captain
Yeah.
America now that Steve Rogers is, according to the public. I guess what does the public think happened to him? Do they just think he's dead now?
I'd assume, right?
I would assume, and I think in one of the trailers they show like a funeral for Steve Rogers or Captain America, and maybe
Then,
they
yeah,
just
they
think
probably
he's
just
dead.
They think he's dead. Well, they
Yeah.
definitely have shrines of him in like a museum because
Yeah.
you see it in the
Is he dead?
trailer.
He's not dead,
He's
but
not
they
dead.
think he's dead.
but
I mean, he's old. He's an
because
old
he's
man now.
old. He's like he jumped like
He's
Okay.
playing
40
golf, dude.
years.
If he even
I was
can.
gonna say,
He might not even.
No,
he's
he probably
barely-
can't, dude.
Yeah.
With his back, fuck no.
I know, dude.
Yeah, with all them injuries.
There were signs
you
throughout
know?
all 22 movies. The man had a bad back. But But yeah, so I think that I was just reading about this guy and I was like, this is a really cool thing because the fact the government would have wanted this other guy to become Captain America, and then like no, old ass Steve Rogers passes it to Falcon, and then and plus the added conflict of like Bucky was his best friend and he kind of
Right.
passed over him. Like I feel like there's gonna be such an interesting dynamic with all of that going on that I'm really really excited to see.
Well, you
how that
see,
plays
and
out.
that's what I've realized these shows are supposed to be going more towards, and it's more just character development than it is story development, if that makes sense. Because
100%.
you see it with WandaVision, like it definitely builds things, which is awesome, but it mostly just focuses on Wanda and Vision's characters and personalities. And so you fall more in love with them. And I think that's what this is going to do for this show too. Like it's just going to get us to have like more just one-on-one Bucky and Falcon time. So you fall in love with them. Like this whole show is going to be like the struggle of him not feeling like he deserves to have the shield and be Captain America, but like he deserves it, but he doesn't think he does, and clearly like other people don't either. So I think it's going to be cool to see these sides of these characters that we like never get to see. And also, I mean, like I was saying in the beginning, I freaking hate Paul Bettany, but this show turned a corner for me, you know? I have strong feelings for him now. And
I love him.
I love Wanda. So I never felt that way about them until this show. I
Mm.
liked like Wanda, but hated Vision. He was the scum of the earth. No, I'm kidding. But I do love them. And so I already love Falcon and Bucky too. So I'm hoping it just grows that affection for me. I'm like,
Do you-
oh,
Do y'all think we'll
love them.
see a little bit more of Bucky's, I don't want to say backstory because we know a lot of it, but I feel like a lot of like Bucky's trauma and the stuff that he's been through kind of is stuff that we haven't really seen. We just know about. You know what I mean? Like kind of like
Well, yeah,
everything
'cause
that
we're
happens.
getting Zemo back.
Yeah, that too, which is crazy. That I kept forgetting about that he's just going to be back in the show.
The villain from
Civil War.
Civil War.
Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea if we're gonna get that. Now, I honestly don't know if this is a one season thing.
I
Just
think
like
so.
WandaVision or not.
I think
If
all
it
of
Well,
them.
they're saying they actually came out and made a statement saying they're not starting on season 2 or even confirming a season 2, but they have ideas. That's like what
Oh,
their
I
statement
got
For this
you. I was
one,
gonna say
for
that'd
Falcon?
be cool to
Yeah,
explore.
for this one.
It'd be cool to explore his story in like a later season, like season 2 or 3 or something. Make that kind of like the story like of the season. But yeah, I mean, if it's just a one season thing, I highly doubt
I doubt it too.
would or should. You know.
I think it would honestly be more of a Falcon story because you got a lot more of a Bucky thing. Like I feel like it was way more revolved around Bucky's backstory in Civil War than it was for
Yeah,
Falcon.
100%.
So
Also, Falcon, like speaking of that, Falcon is like one of those weird characters in the MCU that like we've gotten so little on his backstory at all, right? Like what do we
Yeah.
know about it? It doesn't he used
he
to
just
be
was
a,
in the military.
yeah, that's like
all I
all we
remember.
know. That's like the only thing we
Mhm.
know. So yeah, I that it would make more sense for him to be kind of like the focal point.
And he's
of-
from New
Yeah.
Orleans. Represent.
Shout out Bailey
Saw
met
him
him.
at a Pelicans game. Woo woo.
I did. I walked up to him. He was at a Pelicans game. I walk up to Anthony Mackie. I didn't want to be annoying and be like,
Oh
"Can I
wait,
get
is
a
that the game I was
picture?"
with you? Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
It was
Yeah,
the
okay,
game.
good.
It was
That was
the
when we had
game
those fake
had
tickets.
fake tickets.
The bar
So like
the
we,
fuck?
got cut off
we
on the
went
side.
to the
But-
Pelicans game. We went and printed them out at my office down the street.
God,
Come up. Tickets are fake. We can't get in. But who was standing
a-
right there talking to a
God,
bunch
it
of
was a
people?
mess.
Anthony Mackie. So I walk up and I was like, "Man, can you tell me what happens in Endgame?"
Man,
Or wait, no, was that not? It wasn't Endgame time.
Infinity
yet.
War.
It was Infinity War. And I was
Infinity
like, I said, "Who dies in Infinity War?" And he looked at me like I was an idiot. But
Oh my
he was a
God.
nice
I didn't even
guy,
know that
though.
happened, geez.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I was like, I don't know what to say to him. So I was just like, I'm just gonna ask him a question. But I told him he was great, and he was. He was super nice. He took a picture with me, I think, but it was not a cute picture, so I think I deleted it. But
Wow.
I was gonna say I've never seen his picture.
but yeah, good times. Anthony Mackie, he's a gem, you
I don't know
know.
if I believe it.
So I have this.
Stand-up guy.
I have like a real friendship with him.
Get him on the podcast.
Wow.
It would honestly be really great to have him for this.
You're right. It would. But yeah,
Um,
no, I agree. I think it's gonna be way more of a Falcon-based show.
Okay. Serious question. This might be getting us overhyped, but this is another one of the things going around on the internet. You know, we got to take it with a grain of salt, but we got to at least address it. Do y'all think that we get any form of a Steve Rogers cameo in this show? Flashback,
Yo, yeah.
Future-
I definitely think we get a
future-
flashback.
All right. That
No,
means
well, I
Chris
think we
Evans
get
filmed
Old
a new
Man-
scene. That's what we're
Old Man
saying then, right?
Steve. That's what I'm thinking.
Old man
You think
Steve.
we're getting an old man?
Yeah.
Hey, I thought it was old
Present
man
day.
Steve in WandaVision when it ended up being
I know,
freaking
it ended up being
Quicksilver.
Pietro.
So
Oh my god.
go
Oh
back
my
and listen to
God.
that episode.
Oh, dude,
I
about
literally
that
thought
actually,
it
I
was.
was reading something today. I was reading an article where they were talking about and I was actually trying to confirm this when we started. Right now, like I was flipping through the episodes, but I couldn't fucking find the scene. I forgot which episode it is. But when you find out Agatha's Agatha all
Yeah.
along, and she's down in her little
All
lair.
along.
She's down in her little lair. Apparently, the captions when she opens the door. Y'all remember when she opened like a door or two, like in the lair, when she like snaps her
Yes.
fingers
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So apparently the caption says portal opened. Those were portals that she was opening. Yeah. So she's got the
Oh.
power to open portals and get people from other
To
like
different
universes.
universes.
Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah, a lot of people were throwing out like about Quicksilver that they still think that might be the X-Men Quicksilver, but she's got him like under sort of mind control, thinking he's someone like entirely someone else. And then the rabbit, they were saying, dude, she probably made like a deal with the fucking devil, and the rabbit is like her husband, and that's why she keeps him so close.
Ralph.
It was all types of things, right? But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I was trying to find it to confirm myself. I don't remember what episode happens, but yeah, there like if you look at the caption when she opens his doors, it says portal opening, which is fucking cool.
That's
Okay.
crazy. That makes sense because I was the one who was thinking this is just them being funny. They got Evan Peters. This is not connected to the X-Men universe. However, it would make sense if it is connected to the X-Men universe that this just isn't them introducing it yet. Like,
Exactly.
it's random, like, hey, she can do whatever she wants in all these different universes, and we're showing you that. And it has nothing to
Right.
do with them actually coming in this universe yet.
Yeah.
I
But
think it has
could
to.
happen later on.
Yeah, I
Which
mean-
would be super cool. That's like a super cool
I think it's a cool way
concept.
to it's a cool way to set it up. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, so We'll
Also, I wanted to say, like, kind of about the cameo thing. Somebody commented on our last episode, the season or the episode 9 of WandaVision finale
Uh-huh.
review, and she said, like, if you look it up, they didn't really like Elizabeth Olsen never actually said this Luke Skywalker shit. Like, this is one of those
She
like
didn't?
this is like one of those like games of telephone got blown way out of proportion by the internet.
Oh.
Like, what happened? So I went and looked. So shout out to this person, thank you, because I went and read about it. And the truth is, yeah, the interviewer puts those words into her mouth. Like, they were just asking her, like, is there a cameo? And then
Oh, that
it was
sucks.
like the interviewer is the one that said the Luke Skywalker thing. And so then, like, other news articles when
That's
reporting
fucking
on
stupid,
it,
Jesus.
like, attributed that quote to Elizabeth Olsen. So Elizabeth Olsen, all she said was there's a big cameo. Like, they were asking about Mandalorian stuff, like, wow, that was a really big cameo. Are there cameos in this? And she was like, yeah, there's a cameo. There's a couple cameos.
I thought it was funny that Vision actually he I think in an interview or some sort of article whatever he actually was hyping it up.
Yeah, the
but he
Vision.
was trolling, and obviously as we found out he was saying that yeah, last episode it's gonna be an actor he's never had the opportunity to work with. And it's just gonna blow everyone's mind, which
Yeah.
is true because it ends up being himself. You know, he's never
Yeah.
like
what
I
a
thought-
freaking Paul Bettany thing to do.
what
you know?
a guy. Actually, that brings me to the next question I wanted to ask you. So where does that leave us with Vision and the MCU?
Vision?
Yeah, because
I-
we know White Vision is out there, right? Like the
Right.
all white or whatever.
Yes.
And I think it's cool if we go forward with that and they actually have him because he's a lot more like Ultron now, right? Like that human side of him or whatever, that's kind of gone. Like that White Vision is
No,
pretty
it's
much
somewhat back though, right?
His memories
No,
are back,
he-
but his
memories
human-
are back. Right, but he's not like the Vision we know. He
Right.
asks questions and stuff. And like if
Right.
you show him the way, sure, maybe he like slowly
He's like OG Vision, like when he was first created.
right.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
like
what-
how he was in Ultron.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be a cool thing to explore because you think on paper now he sounds like what Vision was before, like when we first met him in Ultron. But he still doesn't have the Mind Stone. Like,
Right,
even
I
though
was
he's got
gonna
his
say.
memories now, he still doesn't have the Mind Stone. So he's still,
Mhm.
you assume, can't learn and become human the same way, at least. Like, I would imagine there's gonna be something,
Yeah.
there's gonna be more pieces to piece together. So I love that. I love that we got the whole, like, revive a character without fully reviving him. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we know eventually, like, consequences in the MCU are I don't know. I don't want to say inconsequential
Consequential.
because there are characters like Iron Man now that are presumably going to be dead forever. But when you think back to like the beginning of Infinity War, when you get like Loki's like head being snapped, and then like
Right.
Vision's the other character that straight up is killed that isn't related to the snap. Like both of these characters now are in some way back, but both of them are in interesting ways, right? Like Vision is this kind of shell of himself that he's gonna have to go discover how to become himself and whatnot. And then Loki, obviously, we're gonna get into that when that time comes. But we know that that was just in Endgame. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be the divergent path of that form of him, not the one that died. So I give the MCU props for kind of knowing, like, okay, obviously these characters are gonna come back some kind of way, but they're doing it in interesting, different ways,
in clever ways,
Yeah.
like in ways that make sense, and it doesn't make their deaths feel cheap.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's always the bad part, is when a character you love dies and it's really emotional, and of course you'd love to see them back, but when they bring them back, you're just like, ugh, but that scene was so great. Let's just keep that scene.
Yeah.
So them doing it in this way is really smart. I also am just like I have no idea when he's gonna come back and what he's gonna do. I'm guessing Vision. I'm guessing it's gonna be a part where Wanda's out of control and Vision like shows up and she just like remembers who she is. I don't know.
So do y'all think?
I'm trying to think of like ways it could happen.
Okay, so that's a great question too about this. Do y'all think there's any chance we get White Vision and Falcon Winter Soldier?
No, I don't.
No, I think they're gonna save him for a movie. And honestly, I think this feeds to what the MCU's kind of going for. You know, the whole horror thing, which isn't really horror; it's more of a thriller kind of thing. But I think they're going for that darker take. And I think having the White Vision, where he's not like the Vision we know. He's a lot more cutthroat and a lot more like straight to the point and doing whatever it is because he was manufactured or made for that. So you know, he's a lot like Zod. He's not a villain, but he does what it takes. And I definitely like that take because it makes him a lot more interesting and a lot less boring.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't think any of these shows are going to connect really that well. Like, I think they're going to just all be their own separate things. You're not really going to see cameos from the other TV show people. Like, when Loki comes out, I don't think you're going to see Falcon or Winter Soldier. I don't think you're going to see Wanda or Vision. Like, I think they want to keep all these shows very different and very separate, but they're all helping towards the movie aspects of everything.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's,
I think that's super cool.
That's what I think.
I actually really dig that. There's another thing I want to talk about. When we hear Wanda's kids just like yelling help. Mommy help. Do y'all care if I say anything that I read?
No, say it.
I actually do care. I don't want to like hear anything about this show or like anything about that like MCU.
I don't want to hear your voice.
Stand you.
No,
okay, so I read this part of like this. There was this article kind of theorizing what they think the kids are doing. They think the kids are in a multiverse, which
of madness
makes sense. Like they just whatever happened to them, they're just like now in a different like universe. So they're calling out to their mom from that. But there's a possibility that Mafisto is using them to do it because apparently in one of the comics, Mafisto literally like absorbs the kids' power and then the kids become his arms.
What?
Like the kids' bodies
really like where this
become Mephisto's arms, and he just like has their powers.
He just
and
got
I was like,
two
that
children.
is really fucking interesting. And I hope these kids are just attached to this man.
Wow.
I don't want to see that. I'll be honest.
But like that's what I read, and I was so confused and so kind of on board with it in a weird way.
I'm kind of bored strangely too.
I do think if it's not that, like if they're not his arms, that he is still potentially just using them to call out to Wanda to get her to come find them.
Right.
And that's when she maybe teams up with Doctor Strange. I don't know. But
so do they have little like fingers coming out of their heads?
What I wonder
is, no, are their arms the shoulder? I mean, their head.
No.
Their head is the shoulder of the arm.
What I'm picturing
what the
is
fuck's wrong with you?
Would that not make
their
way more
entire
sense?
body-
Imagine Omar. Imagine. Wait, hold on. Let me get this. This is the body. My head notches in just like that. Shoulder.
And then your legs are like fucking dangling, bro. Stop.
Yeah.
That's
this. And then this is the
No,
muscle.
see, I'm saying it's the opposite. I'm saying their feet attached inside the shoulder blades. Their own arms are
don't know.
used as
Why
his
are
arms.
we having this
so
conversation?
technically,
Jesus.
the man has 2 arms on each side of his body.
They're 2 children. Twins. Twins are
'Cause
2
how
arms.
else do you attach? How else do you
We
attach
don't.
children?
We don't. The MCU's not gonna do this shit. I don't even know why we're having this fucking conversation.
Save this moment, people. In 2 years when it happens.
But either way, I do think that Mephisto's using the kids. So
As arms.
Unfortunately, it's more likely than us seeing fucking Toby in the MCU.
how sad
Shut up.
is that?
You
It's
stand-
really true.
Stand your ground on this, Omar, because we are gonna find you a Toby McGuire cameo that's gonna make it all worth it one day.
Other thing we needed to discuss: Monica at the end and who she's going to see in space. Is it Samuel?
Oh yeah.
It's
No,
Samuel.
no
yes, it
way.
is.
See,
No, bro.
Matt
That's it.
convinced me one night. I didn't think it.
I
but one
wish
night
I hadn't even-
Matt was explaining it to Corey. Our
I wish I
friend.
hadn't convinced Bailey yet, because then I could just school both of you fucking
Oh, dude,
posers
wait,
on
but
here.
you guys y'all saw Kong Skull Island, right?
You think she's going to see
Yes.
fucking King Kong?
He died in the fucking movie. There's no.
You're such an
No,
ass.
okay, why would he just be chilling in space? Like, I
Shut the
don't- I
fuck
don't
up.
get that.
Listen
Out
to
of all
me.
places,
I
wow.
know you're getting old.
There we go.
You're getting old,
School
old
me.
man. Think back to what was the movie? Captain Marvel, right? Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Do you even remember the after credit scene? You fucking MCU guru. I bet you
Yes,
don't.
dude.
What is
Yes,
it? What
I
was
do.
it? Tell me.
Bro.
Yeah, let's go.
That's
It's no. It's when he turns to Samuel L. Jackson.
Right, and then do you remember what happens? Like, okay, so wasn't the
Oh,
after-
he was locked up, right? Or
So-
like he was caged or something. Or
So
he
they
was up
show the Samuel L. Jackson take
on a
like his
beach.
face changes and he's just a scroll, right?
Oh,
You're like,
yeah,
oh, it wasn't
yeah.
him.
Mhm.
Then it shows a scroll that morphs into Samuel L. Jackson. He's on
Mhm.
a beach, but then I think he gets up or something happens and the beach fucking materializes. It was a screen. He's out in
It's just
fucking
like a
where?
space.
He's in space. That's where he
space
was.
Station.
That is where he was. That was the last time we saw Samuel L. Jackson was in space. So that's what I'm telling you.
And
She's going to see.
we haven't really been seeing Samuel a
Fury.
lot in these shows and movies and stuff lately.
Yep.
So I think you might be right. And I only think that now because he did this entire speech to our friend Corey, and I was like, you know
Wait.
what? A lot of that makes sense.
You're saying the scroll turns into Samuel L. Jackson, and then Samuel L. Jackson on the beach turns into a scroll?
No, the
No.
other way around, you fucking. Open your ears. Do you hear me? Open them.
Okay, the guy on the beach, he's Samuel L. Jackson 100% of the time, right?
No,
Yes.
I think he's a
No,
scroll
I
at
think-
first. I think he's a
No,
scroll
I
at
thought he
first, and
was
then he
Samuel
peels
the
off
whole
his skin
time.
and he's Samuel. I think. I don't know, guys.
It
It's
makes
been a
no
long
fucking
time.
sense, dude.
Yes, it does. It was it
So
was the
if you
MCU
don't-
joke. Do you get it? His name is
If you don't
Pietro being
think-
fucking Ralph Boner. You know what I mean?
You're losing your fucking mind.
Time out. If you don't think it's Samuel L. Jackson, then who do you think it is? That she's
That
going,
she's going up to see?
Yeah, in space.
I guess we'll fucking find out. I mean, look, it could be.
Do you think it could be Jude Law?
Who was he
Did
again?
he die in Captain Marvel? I can't remember.
I thought so.
He's
right?
Marvel, I think.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
I just
don't
want to see
remember.
Jude Law
I don't-
again. So
I
I'm
would
just
love
like,
it.
maybe it's Jude Law.
He was great in that movie.
Like, dude, I honest to God have no idea.
And
who
honestly,
it
it
could
might
at
be
this
Captain
point.
Marvel.
No, but she said he.
Maybe
Yeah.
she is.
Nope.
I'm just
Don't
trying to
think
think, like, maybe
that's-
she could, like, how scrolls change.
No, I don't think that's what's going on.
She's, like, undercover.
I don't think that's it. I think they give us after credit scenes for a reason, guys. We're literally talking about two after
I think we're
credit
thinking
scenes
too
here.
into it.
Two after
It's gonna
credit
end
scenes.
up being
It's
Toby
simple.
McGuire. This is how we get Toby McGuire in the fucking MCU.
I love it. You know what? You brought
That's
it
who
back.
she's going to see.
I'm on board
You,
again.
you
It's
brought me
Toby.
back
Fucking
to. You brought me back to, baby. I'm all on board. It's Toby McGuire. End
She-
of that discussion.
Toby's just hanging from the
I'm
space
glad
station
he's
already.
just in
Like,
space.
yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
mean, I don't know what is gonna happen. I don't know, but I also do know, and everything that we just said in this podcast is probably what's gonna happen.
Take it to your
Those
fucking
kids
Something
bank.
has to happen from what
are
we
gonna
said.
be arms, and that's all that matters.
Oh god.
I'm ready. Here's the thing. Everybody, I think, needs to pick an argument made on today's episode and fucking die by it. And I am ready to die by the fact that these little children are about to be arms. And I'll go a step further and say my theory about the shoulder the shoulder being the head, that is 100% true. Take that to the fucking bank. When these kids are there, their heads are going to be the shoulders because there's no other logical way to fucking do it. There's just not. Look at our bodies. Head is the only thing that looks like a shoulder.
How
Just-
many hours do you sleep a night? Because I mean, like
Enough.
you're making no sense. Listen, man. It's not what they're doing. Their head is not gonna be the fucking connecting joint from the shoulders to the
There'll
fucking
be
arm.
tissue. There'll be other strands of fucking
You know
things
what?
coming
That's
from them, but
disgusting.
And on that
it is
note,
gross.
On that note, this has been Press Play again. We've discussed everything that needs to be discussed, I feel, about these shows and what's coming out. Don't forget, on Tuesdays, we do this every Tuesday, where we're going to discuss everything about these shows that are coming out episode by episode. You'll love it. You'll enjoy the shit out of it, obviously.
Come back a week from today because there will at least be half of these theories that were fucking shot down just
And
from the first
also-
episode alone.
And
of Falcon
also,
Winter
do
Soldier.
not forget, we have the most important episode, maybe of our lives, and that's going to be us discussing Snyder Cut. Going to
Oh,
be
man.
out Friday morning, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there as soon as you can because we got to talk about this 4-hour movie probably for 4 hours. So,
Yeah.
don't forget to do that. Also, don't forget to follow us on social medias. Instagram at Press Play Again, Twitter at Again Press, and no Facebook. And then also listen to us on Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us. Leave us a comment on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts. Leave us 5 stars. You get free comics out of it. So just do it, you know?
Patrick, you better
But
start
until
digging back
then-
into your fucking well.
Until
a bunch.
then, this has been great. And we will see you with the winter